Well, the government has done the right thing. The government is going to spend a little less money than they were planning to spend. Sadly, it's not going to be enough, and obviously it's not going to be enough to turn around that dire budget situation that in less than a week will probably change. Remember, this week the goalposts already moved by $5 billion. The budget shortfall this year was originally $12.5, now $17 billion. Well, today the government was forced to admit what we have all known for months and months and months. Reality is a little different than government spin. The real world is different than the one that Julia Gillard, Wayne Swan and Penny Wong live in. You see, in the Julia Gillard world, you're able to say that even though revenue keeps falling and business has tougher and tougher times and less money seems to be coming in than expected when it comes to company taxes, that guess what? You probably won't be able, when the carbon tax doesn't raise as much as you want or the mining tax doesn't raise as much as you want, you probably won't be able to have a budget surplus. Remember, for years and years, and definitely months and months, no ifs, no buts, there will be a budget surplus. Well, eventually, reality, the world that we live in, actually caught up with the Prime Minister, and she had to admit, yeah, sorry about that, you were right, and we were just making it up as we go along. Well, today, another example of it. Anyone who has even been keeping half an eye on the price that ultimately Australia's carbon rate will be pegged to, and that's the European Union, that price is nowhere near the $29 per tonne that was worked out by Bob Brown and the Independents and Julia Gillard about halfway through last year. They said that it would be $29 a tonne. Well, as you know, in Europe right now, it's barely €3. So, surprise, surprise, the disparity between the price that they thought they were going to get versus the price they are actually going to get means, guess what? The government is now having to meet us, not halfway, but they're going to have to leave their version of the world and come and meet the rest of us in the real world. The carbon tax is not going to be $29 a tonne. They're not going to be able to do it when it moves to the floating rate. So, therefore, they won't be able to offer the compensation that they had promised. Now, this is actually, strangely, a good thing for the government. It means they're not going to have to spend money that, honestly, people didn't deserve. And equally, those that have had their concerns about carbon tax and carbon tax compensation and how hard it was going to bite into the economy, well, you get a win too. Just like with the mining tax, you can't have it both ways. You can't say that the mining tax is going to decimate mining, but when nobody actually pays it, or virtually nobody pays it, well, it's not actually decimating. It's making more noise than doing anything else. Seemingly, the carbon tax will do the same. That's a relief. But yet again, can I give this warning to the Prime Minister, to her Treasurer and the Finance Minister? You're still living in your fantasy land of being able to offer every single thing in the world and somehow thinking that one day somebody else is going to have to pay for it. In the real world, the world that supposedly the fake economy of John lives in, you can't just keep borrowing money. Eventually, you have to stop spending it.